Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're tuning in. This is Kyle Hofmann here from the University of West Florida. I'm going to talk about our Argo defense, some of our chaos in action, and really getting into our tackle and ball disruptions that we talk about. So I'm going to lay the foundation for our defense, go through some of the principles that we teach our guys, and then get into some of our ball disruption drills, and then see it applied in a game. Real quick, here's my contact information. Again, I'm at the University of West Florida, defensive assistant. My email address is hoff15132@gmail.com. And then anytime you can hit me on Twitter, it's at my first name, KYLE _ and last name, HOFMANN _ That's Coach Crutch right here. He's our defensive line coach. This is our what we call our bloodline, our defensive line. There's me in the corner getting a little pregame hype going on. Real quick, want to take a minute to just share kind of my journey. I basically walked on here as an assistant coach at the University of West Florida about 18 months ago in January of 2019. Prior to that, I was the defensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, coached the defensive backs, and was the recruiting coordinator at Phoenix College for about 7 months there in the fall of 18. Prior to that, I was a head varsity football coach in the Bay Area, Napa, California. And then really what prepared me for that opportunity was the 13 years that I spent as an assistant coach at both Peoria Centennial High School and Glendale Mountain Ridge High School. Was blessed to be around a lot of really good high school coaches in my 20s that kind of mentored me and brought me up and prepared me for those opportunities that led me to where I am now in 2020 as an assistant coach at the University of West Florida. Kind of our three, this kind of like our foundation or backbone of our defense here at the University of West Florida are three characteristics. First and foremost, we preach our technique and scheme, which we kind of go back to and call our arte, which I'll get into more depth here on the next slide. But that is our alignment, our stance, our technique, our keys, and our responsibilities. I will get into some of this stuff when we talk about our ball disruptions and tackling today. The second foundation we have characteristic is passion. We're big on getting our guys to play with great grit, effort, intensity, desire, enthusiasm, and developing a strong work ethic in our guys. And then today, we are really going to dive deep into what we talk about as our playmaking ability with our guys on defense, and that is the ability to tackle, sack the quarterback, execute, and get interceptions, which the defensive line is a big part in. When we talk about altered passes, and then forced fumbles, which we talk about attacking the ball or disrupting the ball. A little more depth in those three things. So again, our technique and scheme first is our arte. Arte is our program theme here at the University of West Florida. That word arte is the Greek word for excellence. Also translates to fulfillment of one's fullest potential. So we feel like in order to do that, we have to be excellent in our basic defense, which again goes to our alignment, our stance, our technique, and also talking about our keys and responsibilities. Second thing, again, is our swarm. We're big on swarm, which is pursuing the football. That's playing hard, playing with extra effort, like we talked about a minute ago. That's that grit. That's that intensity, that passion, enthusiasm, and then giving extra effort on every play. And we grade our guys both in practice and in games on extra effort. And then third, again, is that playmaking ability, which translates to how we calculate our guys' production. And that's, we score our guys and give them points for tackles, takeaways, sacks. And again, what we're going to be talking about today is ball disrupting. Those three categories we break down into more detail on responsibilities. So that arte, that excellence, responsibility, stance, keys, alignment, we believe that goes 60% on us as coaches. Our ability to teach the players. And again, being a coach is the teacher. So our ability to convey those things to them and get it across to them. And then 40% of that goes on the players. That's their willingness to learn and ability to desire and then execute those things we teach them. Secondly, our swarm, we believe that's 20% on us as coaches in our ability to motivate our players. And then 80% of that is on the players and being self-motivated and motivating each other to swarm the ball, play with great effort, enthusiasm, passion, grit, and just get after the ball. And then again, that playmaking ability, number three, the production, we believe that's a 50-50 split. 50% of that is on us as coaches. We have to provide the players with those tools to be successful and put them in the right place. And then the other 50% of that is on the players, and that's their ability them possessing the ability and desire to make those plays. So here's an example of how we grade our guys. This is both in practice. We pretty much grade every group, inside run, 7-on-7, 1-on-1s, things like that. We will grade every group or team period in practice. So you can earn points again, just swarming to eat, which we talked about. We'll get a little bit more depth. Ball disruption, even just an attempt at disrupting the ball, which we'll go through in great depth today. That's anytime you try to punch at the ball, rip at the ball, rake at the ball, strip the ball, you get 2 points for attempting to disrupt the ball carrier. A obviously big hit. One we're going to talk more about today also is a pocket disruption or an altered pass. Obviously a PBU or batted ball, that's a ball disruption that earns you points. A forced fumble, fumble recovery, interception, safety, and defensive TD. We're going to talk about all these things today. And here's how we score them, again, not only in games, but also in every group or team period in practice. Again, obviously you can lose points. If you want to look at those stuff later, you can. Here's an example of a practice grading sheet. So you can see the name, and this is where we put in the raw data on the left, and then the whole Google sheet is formulated, and then it spits out everyone's kind of final grade for practice. And then we count the number of lokes we have, and then we determine if we have extra conditioning based on our production down here at the bottom. So it's an example of a practice grade sheet. You can see all those categories I talked about are at the top. And again, ball disruptions, you get ball disruption attempt, a pass breakup, a altered pass, and all those things. Again, those are ball disruptions that earn you points in practice. Here's an example of a game grade sheet. I blacked the names out, but you can see all the things that we take into account that go into grading a player's performance during a game. So again, a lot of these are examples of ball disruptions or even ball disruption attempts and how they earn points and how they grade out at the end of the game in those things. So here's an example of a practice plan. This was the Wednesday that we were playing going into the national championship against Minnesota State Mankato. So you can see right here, we simply have a 6-minute period. At this point in the season, it was a 6-minute period. Of course, this is 3 days before we play the national championship. And we've got 6 stations going on. So it's basically 1 minute per station. And obviously, 15, 16 weeks into the season, we got our guys tuned in. They knew exactly what was going on. But we got 6 stations going on here. It's a tackle and ball disruption circuit. So some of it is for emphasizing tackling. Some of it is emphasizing disrupting the ball. And some of it is a combination of both, which you'll see in some of our drills where we have a tackling emphasis and then a secondary emphasis on disrupting the ball. So here's an example, again, of a Wednesday practice, 3 days before the national championship, where we're still talking about and emphasizing in practice and taking the time, 6 minutes, but still taking the time to go over tackling and ball disruptions. It would look similar on a Tuesday and a Thursday. On Friday, during specialists, the guys that are not specialty guys, a few of us will take our defensive players and go through ball disruptions. And then something that's pretty unique to what we do is on a Saturday, on a game day, 2 hours before the game, we'll go out and do a team stretch. And then we will have about 7 or 8 stations, a couple GAs from the strength staff will hop in, and we will actually have a tackle and ball disruption circuit on game days about an hour and 45 minutes before kickoff. Again, just getting our guys to increase their ball awareness. Even on game day, we are emphasizing in pregame, tackle and ball disruptions. So here's some of our game goals. We'll talk about swarming to eat and how that affects the ability to disrupt the ball. Win the turnover battle. Obviously, we're talking about disrupting the ball. We want to take the ball away. So our goal every game is to get 3 takeaways. But bigger than that, our goal is to win the turnover battle. So if our offense turns the ball over 3 times, that means our new goal is 4 takeaways. And then obviously, if the offense turns it over 4 times, our new goal would be 5 takeaways. We always want to win the turnover battle, 3 at the least. Limit explosive plays, no cheap touchdowns, and then regulating the run game and regulating the red zone. Again, we're going to really, you'll see swarming to eat. And obviously, if we're talking about disrupting the ball, we'll talk about winning the turnover battle today. I took a few minutes to kind of break down our 15 games in the 2019 season, how many takeaways we had, how many times our offense gave the ball away, and what our final plus or minus in the turnover battle was, if you want to take a look at that. Out of those 15 games, I believe 7 of them, we ended up meeting that win the turnover battle, which we had at least 3, or we were 1 more than what our offense gave up. One of our season goals is to finish top 3 in the conference in takeaways. You can see in the last 3 years, we finished second, and then first. And then you can look at all our totals. If you want to pause this and take a look at it, to save time, I'm just going to buzz on through. Again, our end of the day, essentials for success on defense. There's nothing in here about any type of scheme. It essentially breaks down to our ability to pursue the football, and we say that as swarm to eat. We don't say just sprint to the ball, because a lot of guys sprint to the ball and they don't do anything. We talk about swarming to eat. So when you get to the ball, you have some bad intentions, and you're getting there with intention. Number 2 is tackling. So you'll see some of our tackling principles within. Number 3, our ball disruption circuit. So we're going to be talking a lot about number 2 and number 3 today, tackling and disrupting the football. So real quick, what is a ball disruption? We define a ball disruption as an attempt by the defense to disrupt the normal flow of an offense by applying direct pressure to the football in every play. So that's either when the quarterback has the football, or when either a running back, a receiver, tight end, anyone is carrying the football, on a rushing attempt or on a reception. We are applying direct pressure to the football in every single play. We break it down as there being 6 different types of ball disruptions. So number 1 is a caused disruption. Now that might just be an attempt, but again, that's either what we call a peanut punch, a hammer trap. We'll also talk about punching out from behind, ripping, stripping, and raking at the football, attempting and causing to dislodge the ball from the ball carrier. We've got line of scrimmage ball disruptions, which we'll talk about. We've got altered pass ball disruptions. Part 4 and 5 today, I'm not going to get into a ton of depth, but that's pass breakups and interceptions. And then we also spend a lot of time on, once we create the ball disruption, either on an interception or on a fumble, we want to be able to secure the football. And then we also spend a lot of time talking about how we're going to score the football. All right. So we're going to spend a lot of time on 1, 2, 3, and 6 today. Ball awareness. We talk about this a lot to our defensive players. Talk about kind of like if I had a Madden rating, what would my awareness be? We obviously want to increase their awareness through practice. So ball awareness is a defensive player's training to locate the person handling the ball and the position of the football at all times during a play. If defenders are aware of where the football is and the manner in which it is being carried, they will understand the opportunities for ball disruption. And again, the way we increase awareness is by emphasizing it and repping it in practice every single day. We want tacklers to see more than just the ball carrier. We want them to see the football, the actual ball. And this is the most important element in creating these ball disruptions. Real quick, ball awareness in a little more depth. Number 1, and we preach this to our defensive line linebackers, and anytime a team wants to run the quarterback a lot, is the quarterback is the most vulnerable ball carrier. They spend the least amount of time in practice protecting the football. So when the quarterback carries the ball or when he drops back, we know he is very vulnerable for a ball disruption. Number 2, a ball carrier, a running back, a receiver, or again, the quarterback is vulnerable to losing the football when he has poor ball security. So we got a couple clips showing poor ball security. He carries the ball away from his body. He's being gang or team tackled. You see a lot of guys, when they continue to fight for extra yards, that gives us additional opportunities to disrupt the ball. He switches the ball from one hand to another. He's carrying the ball on the inside arm while near the sideline, or he always carries the ball in the same hand, or a ball carrier's lack of awareness of seeing a tackler coming. Anytime our opponent practices poor ball security, we must have enough ball awareness. And again, we really preach that ball awareness and rep it and emphasize it in practice every single day. And again, we must have enough of that ball awareness to see this for what it is, and that is always an opportunity to disrupt the ball, for a ball disruption. So we're going to look at this first type here. It's a cause fumble that is separating the ball carrier. Separating from the ball carrier. That's taking the ball away from the ball carrier. We must teach and work every day on these aspects by doing these things in practice. We develop ball awareness as we practice against our offense. We go for a strip, rip, hammer, chop, peanut punch on every play in practice. The play is not over until we close and have gone for one of those ball disruptions. And our strip technique will be applied in every drill. Again, more than just strip it. We talk about hammer, chop, peanut punch, all those things. We emphasize that and apply it in every drill, no matter the situation. The other one we're going to look at kind of as we get into some of these game clips is we're going to talk about how we secure the takeaway. So once the ball has been either intercepted or the fumble has been caused and we've recovered it, when the ball's on the ground with no opponent near, we always will go for the scoop and score. If you fail in the first try, then we tell them that they must secure the ball. That's fall on the ball and cradle it. If the ball's on the ground with an opponent near, we tell them immediately that means to go to secure the ball. That means fall on the ball and cradle it. And I'll show you some drills here towards the end where we actually practice this. And then if running with the ball, so once we have an interception, we take the ball away and we get in traffic, we need to be ready to be tackled. And again, that means put two hands on the ball and then we pitch a fit with our feet. So I'm going to kind of incorporate part 1 and part 6 together when we get into game clips. So here's the game clip. This is again shorter. So here's a design quarterback run play. Again, we emphasize to our guys that the quarterbacks are the most vulnerable ball carriers on the other team's offense. So this is exactly why we work ball disruptions. You can see right now the quarterback has the football and he has very, very minimal ball security taking place right now. So again, you can see the ball security only gets worse as the quarterback, continues on the play and is getting approached by defenders. So here's an initial attempt here by our outside linebacker at the ball that kind of misses it, but now he secures the tackle. And now what we emphasize is it's a great job. But now this second guy, once the tackle has been secured, especially near the sideline here, we really emphasize this corner. He should have came in and went for a peanut punch or a hammer chop on this football. He does not do that. So this is really a missed opportunity at disrupting the ball. All right. Again, just kind of going over why we spend so much time emphasizing ball disruptions. All right, same game here. Let's see if the film runs a little smoother. There's a little jet sweep, fly sweep here. And again, you'll see poor ball security. He's got it away from his body. Kind of got, like we talking old school, like a loaf of bread. So at this point, similar situation as earlier. We've secured the tackle. The ball, we're telling these guys that their eyes need to see more than the ball carrier, but also see the ball. This is a perfect opportunity, again, for our corner to come in and disrupt the football. At least attempt a hammer chop or a peanut punch, a rip or a rake on the football right now. The tackle is being secured. This is another example where we did not have great ball awareness. We did not attack the football. And, we end up making a tackle, but that was another opportunity where we could have taken the ball away. So we're going to talk about our first type here. This is our simple peanut punch. This is kind of our day one, how we teach peanut punch. I apologize. So simply taking our hands and punching it straight through on the ball, and then we'll talk about just scooping it up. Let me see if this will run through smooth for y'all. Boom. Just a simple peanut punch. Again, our ball carrier is just going to start stationary. He's going to rock the ball a little bit as if he's carrying it, and then we're going to work on just working our hand-eye coordination, seeing the ball and punching through it. That second one could have been a lot more violent. A next progression. So in this case, our simulated ball carrier is going to take the ball and tuck it into one side or the other, and then as our defender approaches the tackle, once he sees the ball tucked on one side or the other, he's now going to have to adjust on the fly and then execute a peanut punch, not knowing exactly what side the ball is going to be on. So let me see if I can slow play this for y'all. So the ball carrier is going to tuck it. They all put it on the right-hand side, and now the defender is going to come in and work a peanut punch and then work a scoop. Yeah, so again, this might be the next progression, just so they don't know exactly what side the ball carrier is going to have the ball. Last second, execute a peanut punch. All right, next progression. So now we're going to incorporate a little bit of tackling. So we're going to work basically a head up or angle shimmy tackle. We're going to make sure we get our eyes on the near hip, near thigh board. And then instead of finishing with a tackle, we're going to finish with a peanut punch. So I'm going to roll it through slow for y'all. So we're going to approach, keep staying good tackling position. So we'll coach up their feet in terms of tackling and their eyes. And then we will also coach up their ability to execute the ball disruption, in this case, a peanut punch on a ball carrier, and then again a scoop. That one kind of got a candy hop right into his hands. There's another example of incorporating our tackling. So we're going to work an angle shimmy tackle. And then instead of finishing with a tackle, we're going to finish again with a peanut punch. I'm going to roll it through. We're going to work an angle shimmy, shimmy down. And now instead of finishing with a tackle, we're going to finish with a peanut punch. Nice and violent. And then we're going to recover the fumble and then keep rolling through it. So this will be part of our tackle ball disruption circuit that I showed you on a practice plan. This will be one of the 6 stations taking place. So I got a ton of these. I'm going to kind of buzz through some of these peanut punches. Similar situation here. We're going to work another angle shimmy. We're just going to have our defender work around a cone, kind of change the angle. He's going to shimmy up on the near hip, and then again, instead of finishing with a tackle, we're going to finish with a peanut punch. And then a scoop, unless the guy in line pops in. Okay, so here's again another example. So ball carrier can choose a cone to go around, same with the defender. So creating different angles for tackling. But again, instead of finishing with a tackle, we're going to finish with a peanut punch. So we're working different tempo, angle tackles. But then instead of finishing with a tackle, we're going to finish with a peanut punch. And you can see coming through nice and violent. And then working on recovering the football and either scooping and scoring or falling on it. If he misses the first one, he should go immediately to a fall on it and cradle it. This is Keon Holder, number 6. So here he's working a tempo angle tackling drill, and then he's going to finish with a peanut punch on the ball carrier. Okay, number 6, Keon Holder. Let me go to the next clip for y'all. Here's a game against Florida Tech. Number 6, Keon Holder right here, safety. Work down to the field. Okay, he's going to end up in almost the same situation we had him in practice right now. Okay, it wasn't quite the same approach, but he's working that near hip for a tackle. Okay, he's got great ball awareness. He doesn't just see the ball carrier; he sees the ball. You can already see his ball awareness is real high. He sees the ball more than just the ball carrier, and now he's going to go for a peanut punch, a little bit of a combination of a hammer chop, which we'll see in a second, executed in basically the same way that he just did it in practice. Let's go to the end zone real quick. So there's the number 6, Keon Holder again. Same guy that we just saw in that last drill. You can see he ends up in a similar situation we just had him in. Again, different approach, but he's working that near hip for some of an angle tackle. Let me see if it'll stop. And now he's in that same position we put him in practice, and he's going to wind up, hit with that hammer chop peanut punch, and then he also recovered the fumble. Okay, so incorporating those same things from practice into a game, increasing ball awareness. So now we're going to work a 2-on-1 angle vice tackle, and then we're going to finish, obviously, with a hammer chop peanut punch from the second tackler right here, number 25 is Antoine Roll coming in, and then working a hammer chop peanut punch. Sometimes it takes 1, 2, 3 attempts to get the ball out, but again, incorporating our ball disruptions within tackling principles. Pause this. So now we're going to incorporate some block destruction. We're going to defeat a cut over here. We're going to basically strike and rip off of this pad, and then we're going to work on a 2-on-1 vice. So we incorporated some block destruction. We got a 2-on-1 vice tackle, and then we're also going to incorporate a ball disruption in either a hammer chop or a peanut punch on the football. I'm going to slow play it. We got the vice tackle, and we're coming in with a peanut punch hammer chop on the ball. So now here again, we're going to work a 2-on-1 tempo vice tackle. And then same thing, once we vice it up, we're going to work on a ball disruption. Second person in, you can see D. Bell coming in here with a nice peanut punch. Boom, dislodges it. And now we're going to work on scooping it or falling on it. Careful having too many balls around. Okay, same thing here. We're going to work a block destruction. We're going to work a 2-on-1 vice, and then we're going to finish here with a peanut punch on the football. So block destruction, a 2-on-1 vice, and then a peanut punch hammer chop from the second person. So here's a hammer chop. It's similar to the peanut punch, but it's a little different of an arm action. A peanut punch, we're coming straight through. On a hammer chop, it's just essentially like you are, taking a hammer to a nail. So you can see right here, number 3, Marcus Clayton approaching the ball carrier. He sees it, and then you can see this action's a little different than a peanut punch. A hammer chop, he's going to come down with a little more of a sideways motion on it. He's going to chop it, and then he's going to work on scooping it and scoring or otherwise falling on it. Next clip's from the side. So I'll give you a side angle. Now, sometimes from the side, we can encourage you guys to a little more technique here is we tell him set the elbow. So he's going to lift the elbow with one hand and then come in with a hammer chop on the other. Let me run this back for you a little bit. So a side angle, hammer chop. Again, it's a little bit different than a peanut punch arm action, but again, disrupting or dislodging the ball. So here's a little block destruction. This is a nice little one. Again, you can be creative as you want. So initially, we're talking about a block destruction here. We're working on bending the corner, and this defender's working a heel slap after he works on prying, dipping, and ripping on this blocker, and then he works a heel slap. The second guy's going to come in and work on a hammer chop from the front. So you can see we're going to pry, bend the corner. He's going to work on a heel slap tackle. Okay, so we'll practice tackling with that defender. The second guy comes in, he's going to work a hammer chop, and you can see the arm action. He's going to chop it just like as if he's swinging a hammer at a nail. Boom, and then we're going to work on securing the fumble, either scoop and score or fall on it. All right? Got another example coming up here with some block destruction. So we're going to work on a dip and rip block destruction, and then we're going to finish. Increasing our ball awareness. We see the ball carrier has the ball in the wrong arm. He has it in the near arm. So now we're going to work a hammer chop on that ball carrier who has the ball in the wrong arm. And then we'll finish with a scoop and score, or we'll talk about falling on it if they miss the first attempt. Let's see what we got next for you. So here's an example of a game clip. Now this was a double. This was a double pass, but again, we're approaching it. We're working a heel slap here from behind. It's similar to that drill we just did. We kind of missed the initial tackle, but now he's working a heel slap from behind. The second defender comes in and executes a hammer chop. Right there with the left hand, you can see him punch it out. Now we're talking about how are we going to secure this forced fumble? Are we going to scoop and score it, or are we going to fall on it, cradle it, and secure the fumble? We're in a little bit of traffic here, so this is where we would teach our guys just to fall on it and cradle it. And you can see we do a great job there with that second guy coming in. And again, that second guy coming in is really pause it real quick. That's our swarm to eat. You can see our guys not just running to the football, swarming there to do something about it, and then playing with great effort, great passion, great intensity, and then that helps us secure the forced fumble. Give you a quick end zone clip. Let me skip ahead a little bit. So you can see we missed the first tackle. We go for a heel slap, and then we get a hammer chop, pop it out, and we work on securing the fumble. Oh, third angle. All right, so here's a clip from the national championship game against Minnesota State Mankato. Remember, 3 days before this, we were still working tackle ball disruption. You see our nose guard here, Miles Meyer. He's going to defeat this block, and he's going to be in a perfect, in the box angle tackle, and then execute a beautiful hammer chop on the ball. And again, this is on the 4-yard line. This game got a little closer than we had liked, and we only won the game by a score. This could have been the difference in the game right here. So let me kind of slow play it. You'll see Miles Meyer here work a block destruction against the center. Okay, he's going to snatch him. And now as he approaches, he sees more than just the ball carrier. And you can see he winds it up, and he's going to put a hammer chop right on that football. And then I believe Darrell Wilson is going to end up swarming to eat and secure the ball for us. I apologize. It's jumping a little bit. So you can see the ball's been dislodged. Slow play it for y'all. Now the ball's loose, and then we know we're in traffic. We're not going to try to scoop and score this. We're going to fall on it. And sorry, it's Matt Gotel that recovered it. So again, we get a nice block destruction. This is kind of some of the D-line play I talked about last night. And then Miles Meyer here, he sees more than the ball carrier. we've been practicing ball awareness, 4 or 5 days a week now for 15, 16 weeks, not including all of fall camp. And he's going to execute a perfect hammer chop on the ball. I'll slow play it. Boom, hammer chop, ball's loose. So the next one we talk about is a punch out from behind. So the ball carrier is going to hold the ball in front of him. He's going to choose a side to secure the ball, and they're going to work a simple punch out from behind. Again, increasing our ball awareness. We've already told the guy he gets to put it in their left hand. I apologize. And then we're going to work on just punching the ball out from behind. So for ball security, we're coming from behind to secure a tackle, and then we're going to work on punching it out from behind. Okay? So again, just starting stationary. Next progression you'll see is the ball carrier is going to be working down the field a little bit. We tell them just to jog on this line. Ball's in the right hand. We're coming from behind. We want to secure the tackle with the offhand. So we want to secure the tackle with the left and then punch it out from the right. Run that back for you. Okay, so again, working a punch from behind. This is kind of our second progression, going from stationary now to moving. And again, we want to scoop and score. If we miss the first one, we got to fall on it. All right. Third progression right now is the ball carrier is going to start with the ball hidden, so the defender can't see the ball, doesn't know which arm that the ball carrier is going to tuck it in. He's going to choose a side, left or right, and then our defender from behind is going to have to identify which side the ball carrier puts the ball in, and then he's going to work a punch from behind. So he chooses a side, and then once we see what side he puts it on, we're going to work a punch from behind. I'll roll one more time for you. All right. Okay, a couple clips from a game here. This is back in 2017. You'll see Trent Archie come off from the field side here on a blitz. And again, he plays with great swarming to eat. He's coming all the way from the backside, blitz from the field. He's chasing from behind. So again, this goes back to our passion, our swarming to eat, our playing with great effort. Right now, he's got the ball on the left side. Okay, Trent Archie, ball awareness extremely high. He sees him switch the ball to the right side. We've been working ball awareness, again for 13, 14 weeks. And now for ball security, it's loose. Trent Archie knows we've repped this in practice now for an extended period of time. His ball awareness is high. He's going to work a punch out from behind. Roll it for y'all. Ball comes loose. Now let's talk about how we're going to secure this takeaway. Okay, he almost recovers his own fumble, but again, we're swarming to eat. You can see we got 7 guys, 7 hats around the ball. Ball comes out. First person misses the scoop, and then we have to now just fall on it. So Darrell Wilson comes in, same guy you saw in some 2019 film. This is back in 2017. So now he's been doing this for 4 years, right? He knows we missed the first one. We're in traffic. We're not going to try to scoop this. We're going to fall on it. He falls on it, recovers it. Again, this is in the playoffs in 2017. Changes the game. Okay, so we're in a little same side power here, counter. We're going to spill that. Our second person, we got a little bit of a 2-on-1 vice coming up right here. Okay, there's the first guy. He's got it secured from the side, from the back a little bit. Second guy comes in. This is the same gentleman, Trent Archie, who forced that fumble by swarming to eat and punching it out from behind the previous clip. Now he's going to come in. Again, his ball awareness is extremely high. He sees more than the ball carrier, and he's going to work a attempted rip or strip here, kind of however you want to define it. He's not just tackling the ball carrier. He is disrupting and working to take the ball away. I'm going to roll it through. And here's an attempt. He does not end up getting the ball. The clip kind of got cut short. He does not end up getting the ball out. But again, he will earn points. When we go to grade him after this game, he will earn points just for attempting to take that ball away. So we'll work like little circuits or gauntlets. Again, depending on the size of your coaching staff, you might not be able to have 6 stations going at once. So here's an example of, we'll run this back. You can set up, I think we have 3 lines going, depending, if you have 3 coaches on the defensive side of the ball, you can work several different types of ball disruptions, and one coach can coach up all 3. So as you can see here, we got what we call kind of a gauntlet or circuit. He's going to approach this first ball carrier and execute a hammer chop. So approach the ball, a left-hand hammer chop. Second one, he's going to come up and work a peanut punch. So we're going to tell him, boom, peanut punch the football. Approach the third guy, and now we're going to work a punch out from behind. Boom. And then we can work securing the ball, scoop and scoring it, or falling on it. So again, if you're got, high school coaches, got a smaller staff on the defensive side of the ball, you can create these kind of gauntlets where you can incorporate several different ball disruptions in one drill. Line of scrimmage ball disruption. So we tell our guys to first rush the quarterback, then rely on your body clock and your initial success against the blocker. If you're working a power rush, get your eyes on the quarterback. Work towards the quarterback's eyes and extend the arm that is closest to his throwing arm as the quarterback arm starts back. If the quarterback's not looking in your direction, you want to keep power rushing. If you are engaged on a blocker, you can jump to deflect the pass. If you have beaten a blocker or you're unblocked, so this is what we call our open door. The first part, whether you're power rushing or you're engaged, that's what we call a closed door. So I'll show you both closed door and open door. But if you've beaten your blocker or you happen to come unblocked, we want you to run at the quarterback and extend your arm as the quarterback's arm goes back. We tell our guys, do not jump. You do not want to compromise or give up an opportunity for a sack or to hit the quarterback. And then again, upon an interception or fumble recovery, we want to secure the football. So here's some of our line of scrimmage stuff. This one's a little bit less. So right now we're working somewhat of a blitzing linebacker. He's going to work on our two-man sled here. He's going to pop the sled as if he was engaging a blocker, kind of some of it a power rush. And then once the quarterback's arm goes up and his front hand comes off the ball, he's going to work on matching his hand and blocking the ball. Again, this is from the line of scrimmage. Okay, so we're simulating a line of scrimmage ball disruption. So you'll see, let me run this back for you real quick. Blitzing linebacker, he's coming through to the field side B gap, and defensive lineman also engaged. And then we're going to work, you can see multiple hands going up, line of scrimmage, disruption, multiple hands. Let me see if it'll pause. We got one here. We even have one from the backside. He will get a point here for an attempted ball disruption, but you can see right here, this affects the quarterback's passing lane, and then we end up intercepting the ball. And now we'll talk about our score drill. I got some information on that coming later, but we tell our guys to work to the top of the numbers, and then everyone else. Usually we tell our DBs the most important block they can make is the intended receiver, and we tell our D-line to block the quarterback. So we alter the pass, interception, and now we're working score drill. Get to the numbers, block the intended receiver, and then everyone's working for blocks. So there's a kind of combination of an altered pass with a score drill clip. I'll show you our score drill we do in practice here in a minute. Okay, so here we're working with the D-line. Again, we're working a power rush move right now. We're basically working a stab, long arm stab on an offensive lineman using our one-man sled. And then we're not going to get to the quarterback. So from the line of scrimmage, we're going to work on matching hands, altering the pass, and then getting a deflection. So this probably would not be in one of our tackle ball disruption circuits, but in more of our individual stuff, position specific. You're going to see here our nose guard, Miles Meyer, gets a great push on the center. He gets a one-arm stab. He fits it real well, and then actually even works a club arm over and then gets his hand up. It's a great job by Miles Meyer. It's against Valdosta. I think this was the first time we played him. It was week 9. So you can see right now he's got a nice stab. He's got it fitted in that near armpit, shoulder pad. He also works an arm over, but then he gets his hand up beautifully and alters the pass. I'm going to watch it here from the end zone. You can see it a little bit better. Okay, great fit on his stab here. He's going to work that center back, and then let me slow play it for you. Working that power rush move, and then gets his hand up. It's maybe a tad bit late, but he still affects the quarterback. Okay, he's going to earn points here when we go to grade him. And that's how we kind of talk about our line of scrimmage. And that's, again, more position specific with defensive linemen. Again, here, pretty much the same drill. That same, here's basically the same a drill of that same thing we just saw. We're going to start with our stab fit. We're going to club arm over. Then we're getting our hand up and altering the pass. Okay, here's again a power rush move. Again, a nose guard. He's going to work an edge on this center. Again, he's just going to work on that, pushing that center back and then getting his hand up. So again, this is a little more defensive line, position-specific stuff that we will do with our defensive linemen. I know we got a really good game clip here coming up. Let me pop to the end zone for this one for y'all. Okay, so similar thing here. Let's see if we can run this nice and smooth for you. And this is actually by our outside linebacker here. I started pointing my finger. You'll see on the far right of the screen, number 2, Andre Duncombe. He's going to work. He's got a nice stab fit on this tight end. He's going to run him back. He's working a power rush move. He's got his eyes on the quarterback. That front hand comes off the ball, and you'll see Andre do a great job of matching hands, getting it up, and then getting a pass breakup. So again, I can't tell you how many times as a young coach, we'd watch a game and I'd be like, hey man, this would have been a great chance for you to get your hand up and knock the ball down. But as a young coach, I didn't do a great job of practicing it over and over and repping it and improving our guys' ball awareness in practice. So you can see these are things that we do in practice. Whoops, went the wrong direction. Every single day, and it carries over to the game. Let me pop here. Now we're going to go to number 3, and this is our altered pass. And I'll show you, again, some of that open door, closed door stuff I was talking about. We tell our guys to extend the hand is on the same side of the quarterback's throwing arm. So if the quarterback's a right-handed quarterback, we're going to use our left arm, and then vice versa. If we face a left-handed quarterback, we want to use our right arm. There will be certain situations where you might have a better opportunity with the arm that's closest to create an altered pass, and we will give those guys a little bit of freedom in that case. Where if the quarterback's left-handed, but I'm in a different body position, I might use that left hand to disrupt the ball. So here's our basic boot drill. So we will use different positions to do this, but here's our defensive line. We're going to work an edge rush. We get boot towards us. We're going to work on work towards a sack, but then we want to match hands with that quarterback and alter the quarterback's throwing lane, ability to pass the football. So here's kind of an edge with an outside linebacker working boot towards us. And again, we got the ball on the string here. He's just going to work on edge, keeping his kill zone. Talk a little bit about kill zones at some point if you need me to. But then getting his hand up again, and just improving our guys' ball awareness. All right, so here's the same thing, basically boot drill. That's a safety. Basically, we're simulating a blitz off the edge and they boot towards you. Here's a game clip right here. They're going to work the same boot drill we just showed. Okay, let me see if I can run it smooth for you. All right. So kind of our boundary outside linebacker here. He's working. He's squeezing, and now he sees boot. He's got to stop, redirect, and then get his hand up and alter the pass. And he can just affect the quarterback's throwing lane. We'll watch it from the end zone here. Number 18 coming off the edge. That same drill that we just saw now translating to the game. And again, see if I can slow it down for you. Right-handed quarterback, ideally he wants to alter the pass with his left hand. You can see, if I can roll it there, he does affect the throwing lane, and we cause an incomplete pass. So now we're going to kind of work 2 things here. Work the same thing, an edge rush, and then we're going to work a ball disruption. So simulating that the ball's been completed, we're going to work our pursuit, our swarm to eat, and then a punch out from behind. Okay, so again, you can get creative as you want here with your coaching up your altered pass, but then incorporating a ball disruption. Same thing here, working an edge rush, and then once we alter the pass, simulating it's been completed, we're working our swarm to eat, pursue, and then we're going to tackle the pop-up. So again, just get creative with some of these things. Incorporate as many ball disruptions as possible with some of your tackling. So same thing here, working an edge rush, working an altered pass, and then pursuing the football, and then working a ring tackle here. So get creative, all right? Again, same thing here, working an edge rush, working a altered pass, Now this is a case, yep, left hand. He alters the pass, and now we're going to work a pursue and then a roll tackle on a bag. So again, talking about alter passes. Here we go, working a block destruction. So we're going to work on defeating a cut and then matching hands on a quarterback, getting our hand up. So again, this might be week by week, depending on the type of offense you're going to see. Maybe some of your edge guys, your outside linebackers, defensive ends, working on defeating a cut and then matching hands on a quarterback and altering a pass. So again, incorporate as many of these things as possible. Okay, block destruction, working on defeating a cut block on an edge rush or an outside blitz, and then altering a pass, matching hands. So here's some of our other basic stuff we'll do. This is that open door, closed door stuff I was talking about earlier. So we're going to work on either blitzing or rushing the quarterback. We are unblocked or we defeated our block. Right now, we're going to keep our speed. We're thinking sack, 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 sack. Once the quarterback arm goes back and his front hand comes off the ball, we want to work on matching hands and altering the pass. You can see right there, great job on the right-hand side. We go to the next progression. Same drill. The left side's probably better. We really want to keep our speed and think sack, sack, sack. And then once the quarterback's front hand comes off the ball, we want to match hands. We talk about matching hands. My left hand matches his right hand. Same drill. Now we're going to incorporate the quarterback has tucked the ball and is going to work to scramble. So now we want to work a little bit of tackling and work on shimmying up and getting our eyes on those hips and then working, just tagging off and working a tackle. So you can see on the left-hand side of your screen here, Henry Montgomery. Okay, he's got an open door. He's thinking sack. He's matching hands. The quarterback pulls the ball down, tucks it to run, and now I want to shimmy up and work tackling, teaching technique on that quarterback. You're going to face, week by week, you're facing a, agile quarterback. Okay, same thing here. This clip might have got out of order. I apologize. Working an edge rush and then matching hands and altering and deflecting the pass. Okay, this is pretty much what we call, that's basically an open door drill that we just did. I mean, I wouldn't even call this defeating a block. He just works basically through the running back. This would be an open door. Let's see if it'll stop when I wanted it to. Doesn't. But does a great job here. Open door and then matching hands, deflects the pass, alter the pass. So we spend a lot of time across all of our position groups working on altered passes. I'll give you the end zone view of it here, right here. Number 2, Andre Duncombe, coming off the edge. Essentially an open door, alters the pass, deflects it, incomplete pass. Let me pop ahead. All right, so then we talk about a closed door. So working a power rush or we're engaged in a blocker. You'll see on both sides here. We tell these guys to take on the blocker. Once they get within the quarterback and he raises his throwing hand, now I want to match hands while engaged with a blocker. So we call this closed door. Okay, you'll see right here, same thing. We're watching this drill right here. Now, in this case, we give the blocker a chance to either leave the door closed and we're going to engage, or we're going to work on an open door. He wants to run to the butt, think sack, 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 keep his speed. Quarterback works to his side a little bit, and now he wants to match hands. Now, in this case, this might be an example where the quarterback is working away from the defender. He still matches hands, his left hand to his right hand, but in this position, it probably would have still been okay if he used his right hand to match this other hand. If that makes sense. Okay, same drill down here. We're going to see down here to the bottom right-hand corner. He's going to work a closed door and then match hands. Okay, number 90 here, Matt Gotel. Defeats the block. Great job. Works a rip. And now he's going to choose to take his right hand and try to alter the pass when he should have used his left arm. So we'll coach him up on this, obviously, with the game film. Let me see if I can slow it for you. He uses the right hand on a right-handed quarterback when he should have used his left hand, and the ball's being thrown to his left. So that's kind of a bad example. We got to coach that up and do a better job next time. Okay, next one should be a good example. This is, again, against Valdosta down by the red zone. This was week 9. I'll show you this, and I'll go to the end zone view here in a minute. they're going to work a little kind of Tim Tebow jump pass here. All right. Now we got an open door coming off the edge, another open door coming off the edge, and somewhat of a closed door in the middle. Excuse me. But you'll see we get hand up, match hands, my left hand to his right hand, and then we also got the second defender coming in. Let me show you from the end zone a little bit better. But again, this is stuff we're coaching up on a repeated basis over and over and over again. Open door, closed door, altering the pass, matching hands. Okay, again, from the end zone, they're going to work a little Tim Tebow, try to sneak the tight end out on the pass. Okay, you'll see this is a great job by our edge rush here. Matching hands, altering the pass. The second guy coming in does not jump either, kind of working. And then we affect the pass down by the goal line. We're not going to talk too much today about pass breakups, but I just want to show you the slide real quick. In every drill and pass throwing in practice, we're going to work on getting the ball out. That means every ball on the ground is a chance for us to practice scooping and scoring, even on incomplete passes. So talking about pass breakups. Talking about interceptions, we want to catch every pass. There are opportunities to take the ball away. We do not want to miss an opportunity. If we do miss an interception, they will lose points, and that's called a missed opportunity of a big play, or MOBP. We must be ball hawks when the ball is in the air. And again, coaching point, our defenders must perceive every pass that is thrown in practice as an opportunity to develop those skills. And we talked about this earlier, securing the ball, taking away this is type 6. So let me show you a couple drills we do in practice on how we coach up, whether to scoop and score it or whether to fall on it and just secure the ball. So let me move this a little bit. So we got two guys here that we're going to tell either Coach Crutch here is standing behind the defender. He's going to tell these guys either to work in, and that's going to simulate being in traffic, and we'll tell this defender that we want him to fall on it and secure it and cradle it. Or he's going to tell these two guys to work out or basically just stay there, and that's going to be an opportunity for us to scoop and score. All right, so let's roll through this first one. So the two, these are, we're simulating, these are offensive players. They are told to stay out of the way. So now this is a great opportunity for us. We got free space, open space. We want to scoop and score this. We really want to get our pinkies together, put our nose on the ball. Basically, we coach it up like fielding a ground ball with with an infielder or, a baseball player. And we're going to work a scoop and score. If he does not execute the scoop and score on the first attempt, then we coach up that they need to fall on it and just secure it. So this one, let me pause it, roll it back. This is an example where from behind, we told the two offensive players to work and close it up and simulate being in traffic. So now we want to execute a fall and secure the ball. So we want to fall on it, we want to tuck it and secure it and cradle it. We want to be careful to fall straight on it, knock the wind out of you, and then possibly not secure the fumble. So again, this is just a way that we coach our guys, improve our awareness on when to scoop and score and when to fall on the football. I think I got one more clip of this. I think it's Josh Smiley. I think this was, so you can see Coach Crutch is telling them to stay out. Or no, sorry, other way. He told them to work in. So now we're in traffic. We want to execute a secure fumble, fall on it, and cradle it. So we really want to, not a great job. You can see it got loose, and then we had to kind of work, just work on securing the fumble. Same thing here, working an edge rush, working a roll tackle from behind, and then working a forced fumble also, and then scoop and score or secure. So just putting ball drills in with our tackling drills. This is another example here of when we should either scoop and score or fall on it. So this was a forward pass. Obviously, it's not a fumble, but we are coaching our guys up that every time the ball is on the ground, that it is an opportunity for us to take the ball away. So, our guys didn't know whether or not it was a fumble, but we're going to play it as if it was. And again, we're in traffic right now, so we're telling our guys to fall on it and secure it. Okay? It's not a fumble, but anytime the ball is on the ground, our guys are coached up. And this is a great job right here. I can't see who that was, but of securing it. That's Miles Meyer, and following the same guy that not the forced fumble, the national championship game. Oh, let me go back. Sorry. This is Ferris State in the semifinals of week 14. This was not even really a forced fumble. This is poor execution on the offense. The ball kind of hits the guy in motion. We have a forced fumble. And then Trent Archie here, number 24, you've seen in a couple other clips. The ball is in traffic. He knows not to try to scoop and score this. He knows that he needs to fall on it and secure it and cradle it. And you're going to see Trent do a great job here. Get it and then secure it and cradle it. And then our guys come in and cover him up. And you can see Ferris State was not too happy about that one right there. This really was, kind of what sealed the deal for us in this game. Now, again, we did not have to disrupt the ball here to take it away, but we do coach up in traffic here. This is not a scoop and score. This is a fall and secure and cradle opportunity, and it's a great job by Trent Archie swarming to eat and getting the ball, and that, could have been the difference in the game that we had to take away. We did have 6 in that game. Here's another one coming up here. This is the national championship game. Great job here by Kedrick Bradley, number 19. He is right here. He's going to force the fumble. And then it's a great job by Quentin Peoples here, securing it. The ball does pop up in the air. We do practice this also in practice. Okay, so forced fumble. Boom, the ball's up in the air. And then Quentin Peoples here, Q number 13, recovers it and then secures it. And again, we tell our guys to, once they recover it, get both hands on the ball and then get on the ground in this case and secure the takeaway. All right. Let me go to the next clip. National championship game. We had 4 angles for every play. That was nice. Here's another job, a great example of when we should scoop and score or fall on it. If my film is going to cooperate. Boom. Great job dislodging the ball here. Let me roll it back. Okay, helmet on the football here. Ball pops out. Now, in this case, we can go for a scoop and score. We don't execute it real well because we get tackled from behind. But, assuming that guy wouldn't have been there, it's a great job working a scoop and attempted score here. All right. Again, we practice this stuff in practice all the time. Every drill that we possibly can, we're going to put a ball on the ground and have our guys practice scooping and scoring or securing it with a cradle. So here we're working just a little bit of agility drill and then working a sideline fumble situation. We want to practice every situation we possibly can. So here we have a sideline fumble. We need to improve our awareness, whether we can scoop and score, fall on it, or we tell our guys based on the type of fumble it is, whether we need to keep it in bounds. Let me just slow play this for you. So in this case, we worked a nice scoop and score. In the next clip, you're going to see a great example where we, based on the type of fumble here, we didn't have a chance to really secure this or scoop and score it. So now we tell our guys to just work on keeping it in bounds and batting it back in and give our other defenders who are swarming to eat, playing with great passion, great energy, a chance to recover the fumble. I'm going to run that back for y'all real quick. And you're going to see a game clip where we do the same thing. Okay? Keep it in bounds, and then we're going to work on securing it. Here's a clip where there's going to be a sideline fumble over here. Okay? See how the film works, if it's going to cooperate. So ball gets dislodged. It's working to the sideline here, and we put our guys in these same situations in practice. Should I scoop and score it? Should I fall on it and secure it, or should I bat it back into my teammates? Let's see if I can get it for you. Yep. Again, ball's loose right here. In this case, we decide it's not a great chance to scoop and score. I don't have to bat it back in, but I can secure it and fall on it and keep it in bounds. And he actually gets it to his second person. Excuse me. And we end up recovering the football. Okay, but again, we practice these things in practice. We practice this. Either scoop and score, either secure it, or a sideline situation, I want to bat it back in. So we go for the recovery here. We roll it. We don't really execute it the first time, but on the second time, we recover it and keep it in bounds, and now that we take the ball away. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to end with here is our score drill. So this is an interception. Not a great angle of it. We got 11 guys out here. You can see myself. I'm back here. I'm simulating one of the receivers on offense. So we're going to throw an interception. Coach Julian is going to throw the ball. We're going to have an interception over here on the right side of our screen. And now we just have our coaches out here simulating intended receivers or different receivers. And now we're going to work on scoring this football, taking it to the numbers, and then everyone else finding a block. Okay, so we got coaches out there, all the assistant coaches besides our defensive coordinator, Coach Julian, simulating. We got our next group ready to roll. This is our score drill. I got another example of a score drill right here. So again, now we're using barrels out here. Pause it. So we just got the interception. We got a couple coaches and a couple barrels simulating offensive players that we want to find and block. And we tell this guy he wants to take it to the numbers, not get too wide and not bring it back to the field. Yeah, so we're finding blocks. There's the intended receiver. We got a couple coaches out there. So just something that we work is our score drill. And you're going to see some clips in the game where we did not do a great job scoring. So this first clip, not only are we going to look at how we secure the fumble here. So Henry Montgomery, he scoops and goes to score. We're going to look at the end zone as well here in a minute. But you can see it. I mean, in this case, we got guys swarming to eat. We got 9 guys, 1 guy carrying the ball and 8 blockers. This is week 1 against Carson Newman. They got maybe 2 or 3 guys that have a chance of stopping us. Henry got Montgomery here, takes the ball too wide, and then this receiver, great job great hustle on his part, ends up tackling us down here near midfield when this really should have been a score. We got 7 guys, an 8th ball carrier, actually 8 guys and a ball carrier, and they got 2, maybe 3 guys. So Henry gets a little bit wide. He needs to stay on this numbers. He needs to stay on the top of the numbers here. He gets too wide, and then this receiver, again, great job on his part hustling, ends up tackling us near midfield when, if you look back, especially from the end zone, this should have been a scoop and score. We should have scored on this. So this is something that we ended up having to spend time on and more time on in practice, was increasing our guys' awareness. There's a nice scoop and score, but now where do you take the ball once you scoop it? We want to stay on the numbers. There's the quarterback. We got 8 on 2. We should have scored this. So this is on us as coaches. You can see if Henry stays right here up the numbers and we get 1 block, this is a touchdown. And it should have been a touchdown. So that's an MOBP, missed opportunity of a big play. You're going to see a tips and overthrows, got to have those. We end up deflecting the ball. Okay, this is a great job. I can talk about altering a pass here by our linebacker. Our other linebacker intercepts it. So at this point, we're coaching these guys up. This is like a special teams. We call this a midpoint play. Instead of blocking him in the back, we're going to block him with our back. We got everyone working for blocks. Number 4, Gail Loren, is somewhere in here with the ball. And, we really are telling him, let me see if I can get it to the next spot I wanted to stop at. We're telling him he should take this ball. It went too far, sorry. He needs to keep this ball up the numbers. Instead, here he is with the ball. I put question marks. I don't know where he's going. We got a block. We got a block. We got a block. We got, another defender who can work to this block. And if G keeps this ball in the numbers, I think he has a really good chance of scoring. A much better chance than running back to the middle of the field where they all these guys that we don't block. So, again, another example of the score drill, and this is poor execution on our part. We did take the ball away. We had an altered pass. We had a tip pass. We had an interception, but we did not score it when we should have. So these are things that we're coaching up. I'll show it to you from the end zone here. This is a poor execution of not scoring here. You can see altered pass here. Great job by this is Chan. Okay, a deflection, a tip, and now again we got guys. This is our score drill. Block again. Good job not blocking in the back, executing the block. We got guys working to get in front of G, and then G needs to keep this up the numbers and go score. And instead, if you look at this picture right here, G needs to keep this ball right here and go score. So again, we will keep working the score drill so that when we get these opportunities, we don't miss out on chances to score on defense. Here's another example. This will be the last one I show y'all. This is another poor example of a score drill. Okay, so interception here. I think this is KB, Kedrick Bradley. grad transfer from Liberty. Interception. And now this is our score drill. We work in practice. Our D-line knows that they need to work to the numbers and find blocks inside. This was not good. We had a bad block, and this is not hustle. But you can see KB ends up taking the ball. Again, this is where we coach them not to take it. We prefer to take it up the top of the numbers. Let me see an end zone shot for you. Okay, interception drill. This is that score drill, that drill I showed you in practice here a couple minutes ago. Middle of the field, and now we're working. We want to block the intended receiver. We want to block the quarterback, and then everyone else is working to find blocks, working towards the top of the numbers. Top of the numbers. And you can see here, if it's going to stop where I wanted it to, I mean, KB should be taking this ball up the numbers. We got a blocker. We're making that block. We're kicking him out. We're coaching our guys to take to the top of the numbers. KB gets a little wide, and then we end up getting tackled by a guy that we blocked out there. Okay, so again, the importance of the score drill. Okay, again, this is our Argo defense, talking about chaos in action, a little bit of tackling, but again, emphasizing ball disruptions. Please feel free to reach out. There's my email address and Twitter. Appreciate you guys taking the time to listen about our tackle ball disruption here from the University of West Florida. Hope everybody has a great rest of their day, night, whatever time of the day it is you're watching, and God bless you.